I've dealt with a lot of nasty comments towards me. Death threats, probably the worst thing that's you could ever imagine from humans. And I didn't know that humans could really be this way until all this started. But we're going to start at the beginning. So in about May, Timmy started coming to my house. He would come up. I have a turnaround spot, and he would come up to the turnaround spot, and he'd look around, and the dogs were barking and all that kind of stuff. And he'd done that about 4 times. And then one day I decided that I felt like that there was something that I needed to do. I needed to engage somehow. That's what I felt like. And I thought I was good, and I done some praying about it and stuff like that, even though I'm not perfect. And when this all started out, it was never about money. I spent a lot of time teaching Timmy things, and Timmy taught me things that I didn't even know about. Timmy taught me that you could be poor and you could have nothing, but he still had a lot more than what I had or have. We had so many good times together. It's just, there was a point that I just don't have words to describe, that I could see that I seen things blossoming from him, and I seen change, and I seen positive change, and I don't know where it all come about. I never started my platform. I probably had 20,000 subscribers whenever I started. I started seeing things in Timmy that I wished that I could be myself. So Timmy has one up on me. I grew up not in a poor home, but there were things that I didn't have, and I got addicted to helping Timmy. I got addicted to helping the family. I would go down and sit on the porch. I didn't care if Betty gave me a dirty coffee cup, as long as it had coffee in it and I had the chance to sit with them. And to me, that is what made me happy. What made me happy was being with them. There's more things that we can go over. I don't feel like I'm not out here hiding from nobody. I go home every night. Everybody knows where I live. My whole thought process is just doing the right thing. I've known Timmy my whole life. I've known the whole family my whole life. I grew up 4 miles up the road from Timmy, and we'd go down sometimes, and sometimes we'd go down and give him wood in the wintertime and go down and give him pizza. And people don't realize, they say, why is it now that you just decided that you're going to be in their life? Whenever you get married and you have kids, things change. They just change. I spent 13 years married, and I didn't have that opportunity. The house that I bought, I had it a year before I ever started doing anything with Timmy whatsoever. And whenever I bought that house, I just wanted somewhere that was quiet and I could be alone. And then I started working on the house, and I ended up gutting my whole house because I thought I was going to get it finished. But Timmy came into my life, and he changed that. The things that we done together, and taking him fishing and sitting in a boat while he caught that big catfish, and he swore at me in the mouth about twice in the boat. I thought I was going to have to jump out. Taking him to the racetrack, letting him feel like he is number one, because to me, he is number one. They are number one. I know I have a lot of judges on here, but I know where my heart's at. And it's really hard for me to just discuss things like this, especially how things have went and where they have went. Me and Betty had a conversation a long time ago. When this all started, I asked her, I said, Betty, what do you want? And she said, I just want a house. She wanted it built across the road, because us country folk, we don't like sitting on our porch watching the trees. We like sitting on the porch and we like watching the cars go by. Make sure that we don't have any unwanteds down there. You just have to bear with me a little bit here. I'm having a hard time. Another thing that I'm aware of the police investigation. And I wasn't raised to dislike police. I understand they have an investigation. They got a job they need to do. I'm okay with that. Nobody has come to talk to me yet. That's just the fact of the matter. I could sit here till I'm blue in the face and tell people half the night what's right and what's wrong. What I can tell you that is right is that I only own one platform. I have Facebook, my own Facebook. That's it. I don't have no other platform, nor am I in control of any other platform. That's not mine. I have Messenger. That's the only messenger I have. Most people know whenever they send me a message, they pretty much can tell who it is that you're talking about. I don't have no control over. People can copy my name. They can make up a fake Facebook profile. It's not my problem. It's not my fault. I don't have any control over that. I've went several times and complained with Meta about people making fake Facebook profiles. There's nothing that I can do about it. So I want people to know that I only have one Facebook. I make money off of one Facebook. There is a contract. In the contract, it states that no matter what platform that there is, the Whittakers make a third off of it. And I know that I have one, and I know that there's 7 of them that I don't own that are making money off the Whittakers, and that pisses me off. I'm not going to go bad-mouthing nobody. I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to let it all work out. I have nothing to hide, and I have nothing to be ashamed of. The platform that I have control over is my own Facebook. There's 3 Facebooks now of the Whittakers. There's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. YouTube is where a lot of you people have made donations to. I do not have control over those donations, nor do I get any of those donations. So that needs to be investigated heavily. I can't come on here and tell people. I'm not going to come and tell you something that ain't true. I'm going to tell you what are facts. I met Eric through him sending me a message through GoFundMe. And I responded back to Eric, and the reason that I did is because on one side, there was dad talk and talking about how fathers get railroaded by the system. And then on the other side, there was, my dad was a preacher and I grew up in church and all that kind of stuff. Well, anybody that has a platform that would want somebody to help them, that's what they think about. Any guy that's on here right now, you would think about the same thing. It's good that we have an advocate for dads. And so that's how me and Eric got acquainted. The thing about it is that once Eric got acquainted, things started changing. He wanted to do different things. He always brought up the Amish and always brought up Robert Mast. This was on a daily. My concern and where my heart was at, I just wanted the Whittakers to have a house. I wanted them to have a country house. Me and Betty talked about having porch swings on and stuff and sitting out there drinking coffee. And even though I'm not chewing snuff this evening because I know I got a lot of hate over it, sitting on the porch drinking coffee and spitting snuff. That's country. And a lot of people don't understand the thing about being country. When you're raised up country, you're eating deer meat and you're going fishing and having catfish fries and stuff like that. I don't know what people do in Georgia, but we don't do that in West Virginia. You seem to think that we have a really good tradition here in West Virginia. People don't like buttermilk and cornbread. I like buttermilk and cornbread. And I like pickled corn. A lot of people don't even know what that is. That's the way of life, People to understand that I haven't been coming on here because I have something to hide. I've not been coming on here because I am distraught over what's taking place here. And I really learned to love the Whittakers. Really learned to love them. Betty, Ray, Lorraine. I get a lot of flack of why I didn't take Ray to that doctor's appointment. Ray didn't go to that doctor's appointment because I didn't have help with him. Ray will not get into a truck unless Betty is there or Kenny. Somebody's got to watch everybody, which is usually Kenny or Larry. That's what happened there. Another thing I want to touch base on, I hear a lot of people talk about Larry and how bad he is and that kind of stuff. We all fall short. But there's in this world that even though his daughter is on drugs and stuff, nobody should ever have the option that it's either your daughter goes or we don't build you a house. So, tactic. And it went the direction that I didn't want it to go. And whenever I really seen the direction is whenever I broke my leg. And everybody thinks that I was drinking and broke my leg. I'm a drinker. I might drink a beer every once in a while, but I just don't do that. And how that happened, we want to know how you broke your leg. Well, I'm going to tell you how I broke my leg. So me and a guy had went the road in a side-by-side. And I thought I was going to be Dukes of Hazzard and spin around in the road. and I forgot that I didn't turn the four-wheel drive off, the differential lock on it. So whenever I went to do the spin, it flipped, and it just flipped on its side, which, I mean, really that bad. So I ended up getting out. Well, I had somebody that was helping me, and we were lifting it up, and we'd got like maybe 1.5 feet above my leg. And at that time, he couldn't hold on to it no more. And whenever he let go of it, I was already in a squat. So the cage come down on top of my knee, and it shoved my knee to my foot. So that's how my leg broke. Whenever my leg broke is when all this changed. Because I'd come home for a couple days. The next thing I know, I have somebody saying, why don't you come out here and stay at this Airbnb? Never thought nothing of it, you know. Stayed at the Airbnb. Didn't think nothing else about it. So while I was staying at the Airbnb, this guy, Mark, and this Mast guy, Robert Mast, they end up coming in the whole time that I was there. Not one time did somebody say, hey, Patrick, I want you to meet these people, or bring the people over to meet me. I found that to be very strange, like a hidden agenda. So I stayed there, and whenever I left from being there, I went back home. Well, the next thing I know, 3 days later, after being home, the next thing I know that me and Timmy are hanging out, and he sees the police go down the road. And as the police go down the road, I'm like, what's going on? So Timmy goes down the road with his shoes on, and he comes back up the road screaming. I know everybody's watched the video. He come back up the road and he was screaming. I don't have no words for it. Something that was so simple. I mean, it was a simple plan that I had. I mean, building a piano was building a box to put it in. A lot of people don't see that. It just makes me kind of lost for words that, you know, that was so easy got distorted and turned around, and it's just became all about views and all about money and stuff like that. I just get it. So, let's see here. I've kind of a list here that I can go off of. So there is I don't know if I've already said this because I'm here, but my head ain't. A lot of content creators that are out there that are making money off the Whittakers. And one in particular that's a content creator that's making money off the Whittakers is going to donate his proceeds to something else other than the Whittakers. Don't you think if you're making money off the Whittakers, don't you think that that money should go to the Whittakers? Who agrees with that? If you do, you're on the wrong page. We're going to go over a couple things now about Betty. Back week, Betty come to my house because people were calling her house, threatening to kill her. And she come up to my house and stayed. And me and Betty had coffee every morning. Betty has taken care of her siblings for a long time. And nobody would have ever thought that 70 years sitting on a porch would end up to be one day of having 3 siblings gone. Why? Been a better turn of events. Somebody said, listen, Betty, you may not understand, but this is what we need to do. We want to keep you with your family. We don't want to take your family away from you. You know, many people out here that roots for the Whittakers and has rooted for the Whittakers, that I'm sure that if somebody come in and said, Betty, you can't stay in that house with these siblings, and we have to get you help to take care of Ray and, you know, sure that he's cleaned up and, you know, just properly taken care of. If Betty had that option to her, if somebody would have gave her that option, we wouldn't be here today. We just wouldn't. And a lot of people don't believe it, but I'm an advocate for them. And whatever it takes to get them back, that's what I'll do. Hell or high water, don't matter to me. It's a bad feeling whenever you know that you get about two hours of sleep at night, and whenever you do wake up, your heart's in your stomach. It's just a bad feeling. I think that we as people, and anybody that's watching this, I think we should go hand in hand and fix this situation. It happens all the time. There's too many people out here and too many followers, I'm sure, would like to see them together. It is not healthy for them to be not together. It's not. You can't, just like I said, you can't take somebody that's spent 70 years sitting on a porch. Everything's happy. Timmy's outside with his collaring book, writing home and Timmy. You can't take all that and take it away from someone and expect them to be okay, because they're not. It's just right. I think maybe I just need to turn my platform into something different. There's not more that I'll say other than I want to see them together. I want to see the Whittakers together. I want to see Timmy. I want to see Ray. I want to see Lorraine. Their house, come to find out, their house, Betty's house, is not condemned. Betty's house is, it needs cleaned. It needs a little bit of elbow grease, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that care for them that would, come in and help. I would help, but I have a broke leg. So, people, we stop thinking about the arguing and the putting people down and just being cruel and nasty and all that kind of stuff. That's not going to fix this. Everybody needs to join together. You need to join together. Put your stuff aside. Put your thoughts, put all that aside, and say, hey, we're going to help the Whittakers. I'm sure that we all can devise a plan together to make this happen. It's about all I can do this evening, folks. And I'm sorry if I feel like that I've let you down, because I feel like I've let myself down. But I'm hoping that it'll get better. Just remember, if all of us get together and work on this together, we can make this work. There's too many opportunities out there, and there's too many, so much help for the Whittakers out there. And I just think that we need to keep our eyes on that and work on getting them home. And just, that's the focal point from here. If you're interested in doing such a thing and you would like to help, talk about with your hands, not with money. If you're interested in helping, contact me. I'm unlike everybody else that you probably message, a bunch of followers, 300,000 followers. But you know what? If I get a chance and if you message me, I message you back. I'm all ears. So for tonight, that's all I've got to say. That's it. And I hope everybody has a good night.